What if the most powerful way to win is to not fight at all? Imagine stepping into a battlefield with swords drawn and walking out victorious without shedding a single drop of blood. No violence, no clashing steel, just pure mastery of the mind. This isn't fantasy. This is the strategy of a warrior who understood the soul of combat far beyond the blade. Today, we delve into the legendary wisdom of Miyamoto Musashi, master swordsman, undefeated samurai, and philosopher, whose teachings reveal that the highest form of victory isn't about defeating your enemy, but controlling the battle itself before it begins. Welcome to the Unfolding Journey YouTube channel. Welcome to the Unfolding Journey, where we explore timeless wisdom, forgotten philosophies, and the inner landscapes of history's greatest minds. If you're on a path of personal growth, mental clarity, and philosophical insight, you're in the right place. Let's begin our deep dive into Musashi's world and uncover how to win without lifting a sword. The warrior beyond the blade. Miyamoto Musashi was not just a swordsman. He was a strategist, an artist, and a thinker. Born in 1584 in feudal Japan, he fought over 60 duels and never lost a single one. But what makes Musashi legendary isn't just his record. It's the way he thought about combat. In his famous work, The Book of Five Rings, Musashi offers more than combat techniques. He speaks about the psychology of confrontation, the importance of perception, and most intriguingly, the art of winning before the fight begins. This concept, psychological victory, stands at the heart of Musashi's deeper philosophy. Winning without fighting, the samurai's higher path. In Musashi's view, true mastery wasn't in outmuscling your opponent. It was in outthinking them. He emphasized controlling the opponent's mind, reading intention, and understanding the broader landscape of battle, be it physical, mental, or strategic. Musashi once wrote, "To win any battle, you must fight as if you are already dead." This wasn't just about bravery. It was about detachment, about removing fear, ego, and emotion. When a warrior is no longer bound by fear of death, they can act with clarity and see through their opponent's emotional fog. But even more profound was Musashi's belief that if you could control perception, yours and theirs, you could win without drawing your sword. In the world of Musashi, battles were won in the mind long before any physical clash. Perception is power. Musashi's strategy revolves around perception, what you see, what you project, and how you control the information in a confrontation. In the Book of Five Rings, he writes, "Know your enemy and know yourself, and you need not fear the result of 100 battles." Yes, this echoes Sun Tzu, but Musashi takes it deeper. He believed that understanding perception is about manipulating the field, misleading your enemy, controlling tempo, and creating doubt in their minds. He might fake weakness to provoke overconfidence, or show strength to discourage conflict altogether. This form of strategic deception wasn't dishonorable. It was intelligent warfare. He calls this seeing the smallest things with the eyes of a hawk, and the largest things as if through a magnifying glass. This awareness allows you to sense hesitation, insecurity, and intention, and subtly shift the power dynamic in your favor. You win by making the enemy want to retreat, submit, or rethink their aggression, not through force, but through superior presence. Musashi ends the Book of Five Rings with the chapter on the Book of Void. It's the most abstract and philosophical section, and the most telling when it comes to understanding victory without combat. In the Void, Musashi explains that when a warrior has truly mastered strategy, they act without conscious thought. They embody the moment, flowing with instinct and clarity. They no longer need to force victory. Victory arises naturally because their presence alone destabilizes their opponent. He writes, "By knowing things that exist, you can know that which does not exist." That is the void. This is not just mystical poetry. It's profound psychological insight. Musashi is pointing to a state where strategy is so deeply internalized, you can sense and shift outcomes before they manifest. Think of a skilled negotiator who sees hesitation in a glance, a chess grandmaster who anticipates an opponent's move before it's made, or a martial artist who diffuses a fight before the punch is thrown. These are modern expressions of Musashi's void. When you reach this level, you don't fight the enemy, you dissolve the conflict. You might be wondering, what does any of this have to do with my life? Everything. We may not fight duels with swords anymore, but the psychological battlefield is everywhere, at work, in relationships, in negotiations, and even in our own minds. Musashi's principles translate powerfully into modern life. Know the terrain. Understand the context before reacting. Don't get drawn into others' emotional games. Control perception, learn to observe quietly, and influence without forcing. Stay detached, don't let ego drive your decisions. True strength lies in inner stillness. Don't show your full hand, as Musashi said. Do not let your opponent see your spirit. Create psychological space. Be the presence that calms or disarms situations without conflict. In business, for example, the one who understands the true needs of the client before speaking often wins the deal. In leadership, the person who remains calm under pressure becomes the anchor for others. In relationships, those who listen deeply, read between the lines, and respond thoughtfully, rather than react emotionally, create stronger, more resilient bonds. These are not acts of submission. These are acts of mastery. Perhaps Musashi's most enduring lesson is this: your greatest opponent isn't someone outside you, it's yourself. The battle against fear, insecurity, anger, and ego is far more difficult than any duel. Musashi lived as a ronin, without a master, not because he was rebellious, but because he believed in walking his own path, free from illusion. He often meditated in caves, carved sculptures, painted art, and studied Zen. He was a man obsessed with refining himself, not just his technique, but his being. He once wrote, "You may abandon your own body, but you must preserve your honor." Honor here isn't about pride. It's about alignment, about not betraying your principles, even when tempted, threatened, or alone. When we master the internal terrain, the external battles become less frequent and less threatening. We become unshakable. We learn to win without war. Musashi's wisdom has endured for centuries not because of the duels he won, but because of the deeper truths he uncovered. He reminds us that victory is not always visible. Strength is often silent, and the most powerful person in the room is the one who doesn't need to dominate it. This is the art of psychological victory. Not manipulation, but mastery. Not aggression, but awareness. Not control of others, but deep understanding of yourself and your environment. In a world addicted to reaction, Musashi teaches us the power of reflection. In a society obsessed with conflict, he reminds us of the brilliance in restraint. To live like Musashi is to live with clarity, precision, and peace, even in the face of chaos. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of Miyamoto Musashi's timeless wisdom. If this resonated with you, if you're someone who values inner strength over brute force, strategy over chaos, and presence over pride, then consider subscribing to The Unfolding Journey. Here, we journey through the minds of ancient philosophers, mystics, and masters. Not to worship them, but to learn from them, to grow, and to apply their insights in our own unfolding lives. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss a moment of this journey inward. Let us walk the path of wisdom, not to win battles, but to transcend them. Until next time, stay grounded, stay aware, and remember, the greatest victory leaves no scars.